Welcome to Euro Bangla City SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Bangladesh can protect itself from any external aggression, said Prime Minister while addressing at President Parade 2021 in Chittagong. Metro Rail's test run begins. Commercial operation will start from December 16 next year, said Managing Director of DMTC. Devastating tornadoes killed more than 100 people in Midwestern US, one of the largest storm outbreaks in American history, said Biden. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina today said Bangladesh has attained all capabilities to protect its independence and sovereignty if it is attacked by an external aggressor and enemy. The Premier said this: "We believe in peace. The father of the nation has given us the foreign policy, friendship to all, malice to none. We believe in the foreign policy, but if we are attacked by enemies from outside, we have attained our capabilities to protect our independence and sovereignty." The Prime Minister was addressing the President Parade 2021 of the 81st BMA long course at Bangladesh Military Academy at Bhattiari in Chattogram, joining in virtually from her official residence Ganabhavan. She asked the new cadets to devote themselves towards protecting the independence and sovereignty of the country as their prime task. The country's first ever metro train will begin carrying passengers in the capital on Victory Day next year. Man Siddiq, Managing Director of Dhaka Mass Transit Company Limited, shared this information with the media today after the train reached Agagaon from Uttara for the first time during a performance test. The train reached the Agagaon station around 10:45 a.m. and stayed there for some 45 minutes before returning to Uttara's Diabari depot. The metro rail is expected to carry 60,000 passengers per hour by travelling the entire 21.26 kilometer route from Uttara to Motijil Kamlapur railway station in less than 40 minutes. Bangladesh is set to enter the era of 5G mobile technology yesterday at a time when the nation is celebrating the implementation of its Digital Bangladesh vision. The 5G is a high-end broadband cellular network enabling users to transmit high-speed data on mobile phones. Minister Mustafa Jabbar said the 5G technology will enable people to experience the transformation of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, blockchain and other automation in services. Initially, the 5G services will be available in Bangabhavan, Ganabhavan, Sangsad Bhavan. Besides, Shavar and Tungipara are also included in coverage for historical importance. 3 cases were filed today against Dr. Murad Hassan, former State Minister for Information, and Mohammad Mohiuddin Hilal Nahid at Facebook live talk show host under the Digital Security Act. The cases were filed in Dhaka, Rajshahi and Sylhet. Advocate Omar Farooq, General Secretary of the Nationalist Lawyers Forum, Dhaka Bar Unit, filed the case with a Dhaka Cyber Tribunal. According to the case statement filed by Omar Farooq, Murad Hassan and Hilal Nahid used profoundly vulgar, misogynist and derogatory language against the Zia family and Zaima Rahman during a Facebook Live and disseminate all false information. Law Minister Anisul Haq today said issuing restrictions on 7 former and current high officials of Rapid Action Battalion by the United States from entering the country is unfortunate. His remarks came today, a day after the elite police unit and its 7 former and current senior officials were sanctioned by the State Department and the Treasury Department, making the entry to the US ineligible. Responding to queries from reporters after attending an event in Dhaka, the Law Minister described the allegations of human rights abuse against a rap as fictitious. Mentioning that there is no extrajudicial killing in Bangladesh, the minister said allegation on which the US issued the restriction is imaginary. Bangladesh becomes the world champion at NASA Space Apps Challenge. Team Mahakash from Khulna has secured top place by beating 4,534 teams from 162 countries. In the Best Mission Concept category, Team Mahakash from Khulna has secured top place by beating 4,534 teams from 162 countries. The ARSS Advanced Regolith Sampler System, a tool invented by Team Mahakash, will enable astronauts astronauts to control the dust that flies freely during the mission to the surface of the aliens. The Information and Communication Technology State Minister Junaid Ahmed Polok has expressed his excitement over the unprecedented success of Bangladesh in the NASA Space App Challenge 2021. Welcome back. You're watching Bangla City SATV News. Now, international story updates. Dozens of devastating tornadoes rolled through 6 U.S. states overnight, leaving more than 100 people dead and dozens missing yesterday. President Joe Biden said it was likely to be one of the largest storm outbreaks in American history. The president said they will not know how many lives are lost and the full extent of the damage. More than 70 people are believed to have been killed in Kentucky alone, many of them workers at a candle factory, while at least 6 died in an Amazon warehouse in Illinois, where they have on the night shift processing orders ahead of Christmas. Biden promised the full assistance of the federal government and said he planned to travel to the affected areas. State Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency in the state. The tornado that smashed through Mayfield have rumbled along the ground for over 200 miles in Kentucky and for 227 miles overall. U.S. President Joe Biden said he told Russian President Vladimir Putin that Russia would pay a terrible price and face devastating economic consequences if it invaded Ukraine. The president told reporters the possibility of sending U.S. ground combat troops to Ukraine in the event of the Russian invasion was never on the table, although the U.S. and NATO would be required to send in more forces to eastern flank NATO countries to beef up their defenses. Biden, who spoke with Putin by telephone for 2 hours last week, said he had made clear to the Russian leader that Russia's standing in the world would change markedly in the event of an incursion into Ukraine. However, Russia denies planning any attacks and accuses Ukraine and the US of destabilizing behavior and said he needs security guarantees for its own protection. A top Iranian military official warned of a heavy price for aggressors. It came after a report of the US and Israeli plans for possible military drills to prepare for strikes against Iran's nuclear site if diplomacy fails, providing conditions for military commander to test Iranian missiles with real targets will cost the aggressors a heavy price, said sources. Meanwhile, a senior US official said that US and Israeli defense chiefs were expected to discuss possible military exercises that would prepare for the worst-case scenario to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities should diplomacy fail and if the nation leaders request it. A Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen said yesterday that 190 Houthis have been killed in military operations in the last 2 days. Saudi press agency tweeted the coalition conducted 36 operations against Houthi targets in Marib in Yemen within the 2 days. The operation also destroyed 20 military vehicles and drone control units. The coalition regularly attacks Houthi military targets to deter the militia from launching drone and missile attacks against Saudi Arabian cities, mainly in border areas. In March, the coalition ended its 6th year of fighting the Houthis in Yemen to assist Yemeni President Abu Rabu Mansur Hadi. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's personal Twitter handle was briefly compromised. Prime Minister Office said in a tweet early today. Prime Minister Office said any tweet shared during the brief period when the account was compromised must be ignored. It was not immediately known how long the personal Twitter of Modi, which has over 73 million followers, was comprised. However, Twitter took the necessary steps to secure the compromised account as soon as it became aware of the activity. The Punjabi government moved the Supreme Court challenging the centre's decision to extend the jurisdiction of the Border Security Forces (BSF) to a 50-kilometre belt along the international border in Assam, West Bengal and Punjab as compared to the earlier 15-kilometre. Welcoming the move, Punjab Congress Chief Navjot Singh Sinhu congratulated the Charanjit Singh Channi government for being the first to approach the top court. The Congress government in Punjab is the first state authority to take the issue of BSF's extension of jurisdiction to the apex court. The Punjab state government in its plea said the extension of the territorial jurisdiction of the Border Security Force enhances upon the constitutional jurisdiction of the states. While in Punjab, West Bengal and Assam, the BSF jurisdiction was enhanced from 15 km to 50 km. In Gujarat, which shares its border with Pakistan, the limit has been reduced from 80 km to 50 km. Before ending, we go to the Euro-Bangla city SATV news headlines again. Bangladesh can protect itself from any external aggression, said Prime Minister while addressing at President Parade 2021 in Chittagong. Metro Rail's test run begins. Commercial operation will start from December 16 next year, said Managing Director of DMTC. Devastating tornadoes killed more than 100 people in Midwestern US, one of the largest storm outbreaks in American history, said Biden. You're up to date so far here on Euro-Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satvtv.tv. Stay with SATV.